Hey babes, welcome to the ward. I designed a house for my characters. It was a few months ago that I made this. It only feels like it was a few weeks, but apparently it was a few months ago. I wasn't originally planning on making a YouTube video about this, but I started and I was kind of like, we don't have a lot of like tutorials and stuff about making backgrounds and stuff, so I thought I would make this because I feel like I had fun and I learned quite a bit. So hopefully this can be helpful to you. I had actually already designed a part of the house before I had the kitchen done, but I decided on a whim that I wanted to design like the whole house. I think knowing a bit about the story helps to understand my thought process behind designing this house. So, quick synopsis. The story is about a boy named Duomis who gets cursed by a teeny dragon, and to get the curse lifted, he has to become a magical boy and help the dragon deal with like monsters and things related to dreams. I've had this story for a while, but I've been adjusting it and working on it more these past few months since I designed this house. So I don't entirely know what's going on, but I have a loose idea. I'm putting it together. Okay. Anyways, but the setting of this story, it's like a fantasy story, but instead of being a medieval fantasy story, it's a 90s fantasy story. So it's like it's set in the 90s, but it's a fantasy land. And they're kind of like on a continent that's like two islands. And one island is inspired by like Scandinavia, more specifically Sweden. And then the other island is like Japan, because I'm a weeb. And Duomis is from the Scandinavian side of the island. And then some fictional stories that inspired this house in particular was Moomin House from Moomin Valley and the Kinomoto House from Cardcaptor Sakura. A lot of this story, and especially the house, is inspired by Cardcaptor Sakura. So I did a quick sketch of things I knew that I wanted in the house, or how I wanted it to look like. I knew I wanted it to be a tall rectangle and for it to have like a loft window in the front and the door on this side and an extra room on this other side. So just got a quick sketch to get it down what I imagined it like, and then I did a lot of Googling to figure out what like houses in Sweden actually look like and what do the details on the houses look like. A bunch of Googling traditional Swedish houses to kind of get the feel of it, and I started drawing a more three-dimensional version of it. But to make sure that the windows looked good and looked logical, I started designing the interior. I already had a bit to go off of because I already had done the kitchen and part of the living room years before for another drawing I did. So it was pretty much a matter of just building off of that. Like I knew I wanted a staircase here and the door there. And then under the staircase, we got like a Harry Potter closet. So doing the interior to figure out where the windows go. On some of the houses that I looked at, they had like these crisscrossy diamond pattern in the window, and I really liked that. So I used that not only in the windows, but I used more diamond motifs throughout the interior of the house, which you'll see more later. But here I did like the second floor because I had no idea what I wanted on the second floor. But I had to think about like, can I put bathrooms on the front of the house? Because I've never seen like a bathroom near the front of the house. Because if you're going potty or something, then people outside the house, they can like see you going potty. So that's weird. So I'm like, I tried to make sure that the bathrooms were away from the front of the house. Except for the bathroom on the top floor, because it's like a tiny window from far away and you can look out the window while you poop. Also on the top floor is Duomis's room, because I knew I really wanted it to have like a slanted roof, just like Sakura's room. So that's partially why this house is 3 stories tall. I'm like, why do I have so little room? And then I remember that most houses are like, they spread outward instead of just going up, because it's really quite a little house even though it's 3 stories tall. But yeah, I really wanted him to have a slanted roof. And then just doing like some details, I saw a lot of really cute details on like windows and what is railings on the outside of the house on the Swedish houses that I looked at, so I knew I wanted those in there. In this video, I'm only doing detailed drawings of the kitchen, living room, and Duomis room, but I think drawing the interior from like a top-down layout was pretty helpful. During this part of the drawing, I actually watched quite a few videos of like Scandinavian house tours, and that was fun, and that helped me get a feel for like how things go and what they look like, stuff like that. So that was helpful. That was fun. I had a good time. But just like the Kinomoto house, I knew I wanted it to be yellow with a blue roof, because that's how I imagined it. And then this is an old sketch of the kitchen. It would have saved me a lot of time to just do another sketch that's like small and finished it, instead of having to redraw everything 10 million times. Like initially where I'm drawing the sink now, I had the oven there and the sink by the other part of the wall where I'm putting the oven, because I was like, oh, if you're cooking something, then the steam can just go out the window. But then I'm like, but the most houses I've seen, they have the sink with the window right by it, so you can like wash dishes while you look out the window. So I switched the position of the sink and the oven to where they are now. And then the living room is connected to the kitchen, so they can like watch their TV and stuff while they eat dinner, because I think that's fun. A lot of this house was inspired by my grandparents' houses. Like when I was little, one of my grandmas, before she got her kitchen remodeled, she had like right now she has an island. I think she did have an island, but she did have a part that was like connected to the wall, and then I don't know, it's like, maybe I'll just I don't know how to explain it, but she had something like where the stools are now, and so I put that there because a lot of this was inspired by my grandparents' houses, because like obviously those are a bit older because they're my grandparents' houses. And I also added some plants, but I think now that I'm thinking about it, because when I was doing the layout for this in the room next to the kitchen, I put like a laundry room and a dining room in there, and then I'm like, oh, they need a pantry, so I took out the dining room and I put the laundry machine where the dining room was and the pantry where the laundry machines were, but I only have one door in there, so if you're trying to bring your laundry to the laundry machines, you'd have to go through the kitchen and through the pantry. So I think if I was to go over this again, if I felt like it, I would move that plant by the TV and put a door there so they can get to their laundry room easier. But yeah, you also see me doing the window loft, because I always thought those were cool. I've never had one, but I've seen them in like TV and stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. It looks so cozy and stuff. I also put a curio cabinet in there, and inspired by one of my grandmas. She has this like super awesome curio cabinet. It's got like mirrors on the insides, which makes it fun to look at all her trinkets, especially when I was a kid, because I didn't realize that they were mirrors, so I just thought she had like a lot of trinkets, and it just looks so magical. See me drawing the freaking cabinets again, because I didn't do them properly at first, so I have to redraw them. Freaking cabinets. So you see that little lattice pattern above the window, like that's kind of how I was talking about with the cross or the diamond patterns in the house. So I added some more there because I saw that in another house, because when I was doing this whole project, I had to Google so many things. I'm like, 90s kitchen, 90s TV, 90s couches, 90s coffee table, 90s plant, so many things. I had to Google so many things. But I definitely think it helps it look better, because it looks more realistic when you use references. So yeah. But also another bad thing I did here is that the cabinets are the same. I don't know what the word is, but they're like pretty much level. They're like this. They're the same coming out from the wall length as the counters. And I realized looking at like some counters and cabinets, I'm like, oh, they're not supposed to be the same because otherwise you'll bonk your head on the cabinets. So that was my bad. And I also wanted there to be wallpaper, especially a floral wallpaper, because that's definitely in old houses. That's in both of my grandparents' houses. But I also wanted it to be kind of significant to the family. So Duomis lives in this house just with his mom because his dad is died. But his dad is kind of like whatever this world's equivalent of the Sami people are. So I wanted something that was significant to the Sami people in the floral wallpaper. So I looked up like what kind of flowers they like. I didn't see flowers, but I saw that they like berries. So I put some, I think they were cloudberries in there, made a cloudberry pattern. Also referencing more Sami culture, I put some reindeer horns here, and those would be mounted above the loft, but I'm drawing them here so you can actually see them. You can see me struggling to try and get them to look realistic and semi three-dimensional. Reindeer horns, they're a bit difficult, but I think I'm decently pleased with how they turned out. Yeah. And then this part goes over the oven. Got the microwave. Initially, I had the microwave on where the crisscrossy thing over the window is, but I moved it over here to the oven. A lot of the kitchens I saw on Google for like 90s kitchen, blah blah blah, I saw a lot that had these kind of open shelves thingies. So I thought those would be fun because you can put like cooking stuff on there. I put more cooking stuff on the lower levels because I felt like they would be easier to reach. And the higher levels, I end up putting more curios on. Like I put some spices on the bottom shelf. Not too many though, because they're white. These people are white and they don't like that many spices. And I made sure that like the little teapot and the pots have cute little patterns on them, because when I see like the Scandinavian stuff with the cute patterns on it, I'm just like, I love it so much. I put some cute and silly stuff on that top cabinet. Like there's a Dala horse and there's a little chick. Because for some reason I put one on top of the fridge too. And then there's also like this frog making a silly face, which is kind of inspired by that Elmo in the Fire meme, because there's like literally 2 houses in my neighborhood that have art, probably done by their children, of the Elmo in the Fire meme, and one of those houses, their mom is Norwegian. So I was like, yeah, this I'll put a frog that looks like Elmo in the Fire in there. And also behind the Dala horse, you can barely see it, but I was like, what if I put like a little action figure there? It's like maybe Duomis put it there. He's waiting how long it takes for his mom to figure it out. And then the colors, I also kind of already had it imagined, especially because I already did an illustration on the kitchen. I know I wanted it to have like pretty blue walls, light blue walls, and cute yellow cabinets, because I just think that's cute and fun. I think his mom would like fun stuff and fun colors like that. And then I used a lot of neutral colors like browns to also like help even it out, because if you use too many colors, it looks kind of crazy. I do think the kitchen does look pretty colorful and crazy a little bit. But the neutral colors, like the browns, they are very like 80s, 90s old colors. Those, because we like wood things. We like. I loved drawing that wood floor. I love drawing wood pattern. It's so fun. It's so relaxing. Really fun. Coloring the wallpaper takes me a while. I did say that they were cloudberries, and cloudberries I think are more orange, but I did make them red to make them more cohesive with the rest of the room, because there's no orange in this. And then of course I make the wallpaper more white. I think that helps it look a little bit more cohesive too. I did try making the cabinets a bit lighter because they're just Like, oh my gosh, so many colors. And I like colorful things, but I also don't want it to look crazy. So I think lightening the cabinets help. I think it helps a little bit, but but if I make them like natural wood color, then I feel like it takes the charm out, you know? It's kind of boring. Oh my gosh, and I totally forgot to tell you that when I started this project, I had just watched Kiki's delivery service for the first time. So I was kind of having like Ghibli painted backgrounds on the mind. And of course, this stuff is like inspired by the 90s because I like 90s anime is just gorgeous, gorgeous. Oh my gosh. So I wanted to kind of emulate that in my shading. I'm not sure. I didn't take a whole lot of time to make sure I was doing it right. But basically, what I really wanted to capture in this project is that I wanted this house to feel lived in. Like you can see like silly little trinkets or things that they might have collected over time, just things that these characters would have put there themselves. Like, oh, they gotta cook and stuff. I don't know. I hope it feels lively. I hope so. But it was fun just kind of getting into the characters' minds and thinking about what kind of things they would put there. I haven't even designed Duomis's mom, and I'm like, what would she put in her kitchen? Design the kitchen before you design the lady. That's weird. Okay, and then we start doing Duomis's room, and I was smarter doing this one, starting out with like a small sketch so I could get everything in place instead of trying to draw it nicely and then deciding I don't like it. So I think this was smarter. I think I actually did end up maybe spending more time doing the line art on it because I had a sketch so I could just do the line art. I think I said before that I really wanted Duomis's room to have a slanted roof, in part because that's how I imagined it. I don't know if it was like a conscious reference to Sakura's room also having a slanted roof. I don't know. But that's how I imagined it, so that's how it has to be. Once again, I was Googling a lot of furniture pieces. I think in Duomis's room, I did try to be a bit more specific on like 90s Swedish bed, 90s Swedish desk. And so I noticed that a lot of those were kind of like really flat looking. They had like really flat drawers and stuff. But in my little American mind, I'm like, oh no, 90s old cabinets are beveled. So the desk does have more flat drawers, but the dresser on the side of the room, you can't really see the front of it, but it does have beveled drawers because that's how I wanted it to be. Yeah. Originally, I think I did imagine him having like a vanity with a mirror. And I'm like, he's a boy. Why would he have a vanity? So I put a desk and a window there, but he still has like a mirror so he can like check his fit, you know, a long mirror. Windows have a lot of lines in them, like on the side of the windows. You ever try to draw a window and you look at a window? I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many lines. He has his laundry basket so we can carry his laundry down 2 flights of stairs, through the kitchen, through the pantry to get to the laundry room because I didn't put another door there. Sorry, Duomis. Here's more diamond shapes. Look more diamond shapes. Do you like it? And I spent like 20 minutes drawing this swivel chair, mostly the bottom part of it. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, Sakura also has a chair like that. So I don't know if it was like conscious me trying to make it look like Sakura's room or if I just imagined it that way. I don't know if it was a conscious decision or not, but there's a lot in this room that looks like Cardcaptor Sakura's room. Me struggling with the chair to make it. It's like, yeah, I can make it look good enough, but I want it to be really good. So I spent a lot of time trying to make that freaking chair look better. I looked up 90s bed, what a 90s bed looks like. I feel like the furniture in this room ended up being pretty simple, but I don't think it looks bad. I think it fits well. I think it's fine. And I don't think I planned on doing a pattern on the rug, especially since I didn't even do one on the rug in the main room, but I ended up drawing kind of like a Minecrafty tulip pattern on the rug, and I think it looked out pretty cute. I think if I were to go over the kitchen and living room and like add a door or something, I might draw a pattern on the rug, but I don't know. Yeah. Then I added some things that I felt like a teenage boy might have in his room, like weights and laundry strewn all over. I don't know though, because I'm not a teenage boy. I don't have brothers and I don't have male friends, so I don't know. I'm just guessing and Google it. I don't need, but it's so awkward. I'm like Googling what do teenage boys have in their rooms. Ew, that's so weird. Ew. But I put like some stickers on the mirror because I thought that would be fun. And then in a lot of like the 90s rooms that I looked up, bedrooms, they had like posters and stuff all over the wall. So I did that here because I think Duomis is the kind of person that just goes with the flow and he just does what his friends are doing. But I still tried to make sure that they were like significant to Duomis himself, especially the things that are closer to his bed, kind of like, because his bed is probably where he spends the most time in his room unless he's sitting at his desk. So he's got like a poster that he probably took from like a wildlife magazine. It's got like a reindeer on it. I haven't decided if his dad would actually be like a reindeer herder himself, but it's still like part of his culture and stuff. And then he's got like a ticket to somewhere. Maybe he went somewhere with his friends or family. And then on his desk, he's got like an alarm clock and a cool rock. So what do boys like? I'm like, maybe he wants a cool rock. I would like a cool rock. I don't know. One of the videos I watched had like these beams across one of her slanted ceilings. I was like, oh, I could put those in there because I knew I wanted him to have like these faux vines. Because even though that's like more of a modern thing, like obviously this isn't strictly 90s Scandinavia room because I'm putting the American dresser in there. But I'm also putting some kind of more modern things in there, like the lights and the leaves. And here I drew every single leaf so nicely and realistically, and then I'm like how it looks, so I drew it more like how I did it in the sketch. And then I'm drawing like the other side of the room so we can see what the doors looks like, and more posters on the room. For the other posters in his room, he's got like it says kids, which is obviously like a reference to kids, in part because in the movie The Colors Within, one of the characters has a t-shirt that says kids in the style of Kiss. So I'm like, I'll put that on there. And he's got just like some random things and like probably pictures of celebrities or models or whatever. And in one of the videos I watched, this girl had like this plastic baby face with a crocheted thingy around it. So I'm like, yes, I'm putting that in there. Here you can see me drawing the American dresser, the American style dresser. Yes. Yeah. But then the posters near the door, he has a picture of an analog clock, and I did make it kind of like wavy because I'm pretty sure that one painting with wavy clocks is by a Norwegian painter, but I'm not sure. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I googled it when I was drawing this, but I can't remember. And then on the other side of the wall, closer to the bed, he has got like pictures of his family and then like reindeers and stuff. Actually, I think one of them is a buff fairy, but you can't. It's kind of hard to see. And then on the other side, he's got like a bead thingy. And I know it's 2000s, but I have like a Fooly Cooley poster on there because I like the vibe of that picture. I like the pose. I think it's fun. I still think it goes in with the 90s vibes. And I think I also saw like a Nirvana poster that had like an angel on it. So I put that there. And then there's also I was like, oh, rap bands are probably popular in the 90s too. So I made like a fake rap band and called them Bart. And I mean, like, this is inspired by Scandinavia, and The Swedish word for speed is fart. So do with that information as you will. And then for colors, I imagined the room to be pretty white because, like I said before, he's kind of a go with the flow kind of kid. Like, he has all these things that show off his personality, kind of, but it's hard to tell if, like, that's really what he likes or if it's just what his friends like. So I thought, like, a whiter room would help display his lack of character a little bit. But also, it like makes it so much easier to do something more cohesive when you're using a lot of neutral colors. It makes it so much easier. But I also did imagine there to be green, especially with the little greenery on the ceiling beams. So we got like some just nice neutral colors, whites and browns, because like there's wood and stuff. And there's cream and some blue and some green. Little pops in the corner. There's like this little thing that's got like magazines and books and also VHS tapes, even though he doesn't have a TV in his room like Sakura does. Girl, you're in elementary school. Why do you have a TV in your room? So if he wants to watch his VHS tapes, he has to take them all the way downstairs. This was a fun project. It was definitely something that I'm not really used to, but I wouldn't say that it was necessarily out of my comfort zone because designing backgrounds, if you consider it like character design, it is quite a bit like character design where you have to consider the characters. Like I talked a lot about what would the characters have here, what would they use. It was really fun just trying to get into these characters' heads and trying to get to know them better by designing the space that they live in. That was literally just me like yapping about my drawing. I don't know if that was helpful or educational at all, but I guess you'll be the judge of that. So thank you for watching. I know this was long, I'm sorry. But thank you for watching. Stay curious.